Truth bomb. Quitting alcohol has completely transformed and improved all my relationships in my life. What's going on, everybody? My name is Jamie Dottie Garza, and it's time to ignite the world. And in this video, I want to share some of the ways that quitting alcohol has improved numerous relationships in my life. Numerous relationships from my now wife, who was my girlfriend at the time for over 11 years. Improved relationships with my own father, who we became distant because of alcohol, I feel. Have improved relationships with my friends and my family, and overall, everyone in this world, it feels like. Because I'm a better version of myself now without alcohol and remaining sober and remaining and keeping my sobriety. Currently, upon this video, we're talking 454 days alcohol free. You too, out there watching this, you too can become on this path and embrace this path. And if you're out there and you're struggling, keep staying in it. You got to think about the long term. Those days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months. One of the biggest relationships that quitting alcohol has saved in my life has been with my now wife. We've been married for 2 years, but we were off and on. She was my girlfriend at 2011 when I met her, and she's been riding with me since. And during that ride, we're talking about someone who drank a lot, alcohol of all shapes. Doesn't matter, liquor, champagne, beer, wine, always going to the bar a lot, clubs. Even when she used to chill with me at home, I used to be even editing. At that time I was doing music videos. I would always feel the need to have like even a Four Loko to get the creative juices sparking, which is full cap because that's not what really kept me in my zone. But it was an excuse. It was an outlet. And she's really seen me, and I felt like I was living a double life. Like one part of me would be the sober version of me, which is very loving and very positive. But then when I started like fueling it with alcohol, that's when the ego would start to come in. I would get even more cocky. I would get more arrogant. I would get more harsh, and my words would be just harsh. And some people say, oh, the truth comes out when you're drunk. I don't know what it was, but it was all demonic to me. And I've said some horrible things to her. I've done some horrible things, and the thoughts that I had and how I treated her, and I just abused our relationship, I felt like. And she forgave me, and she worked with me, and she saw this version that I'm living right now while I'm getting on front of this camera right now. Any woman like that deserves the world. That's why I give her the world. And since I've been completely alcohol free over these past 454 days, I've been able to be more calm, be more loving, show a lot more empathy, detach my ego from a lot of situations. I used to feel attacked all the time. When we used to have discussions or arguments, I would just get petty. Like, especially even when I was drinking alcohol, it might not have been like I was drinking every day, even at points. But even when you go down that rabbit hole, you drink one, and someone catches you at a bad time, it just sparks something different because you can't think clear. You're not thinking clear. There's something in the barrier, and that was alcohol for me. And I used to just say things personal. I used to just be very nasty. She even used to tell me, I don't want you to get old. You're going to be a grumpy old man. And I was like, whatever. Until like over the past year and a half, I realized like, wow, I'm a lot better without this alcohol. And it has enhanced our relationship, our communication skills, the love I show her, the love I show my family, my kids. Like, they don't have to have someone who has a bad temper and snap and yell. And as often, I'm still working on that. I'm still a work in progress. God's always working on me. That's been the biggest relationship that it has helped, because that's the biggest relationship that continues to drive me. And I'm just so grateful that she gave me. I love you, baby, out there if you're listening. I know you're listening because you support your man. That's been one of the biggest improvements in a relationship. The second, I would say, is rekindling a relationship with my father. I remember at a time before Carter was born. Carter's about to be 7 years old, so this was in 2016. He was about to be born. I remember he drank a lot too. I would drink a lot. I was stressed too because I ain't know how to be no daddy. Like it was real in the field. I was nervous. I was scared. I was still trying to get my life together. I was 28 years old, on the cusp of being 30, still trying to figure out my life out. I feel like I've done a lot better of that recently, in my 30s and approaching mid 30s. But it was just a trigger for me. Sometimes he'll call me when I was drunk, faded. We had a lot of good times, thanks to drinking. We bonded a lot, when I went out there in California and San Diego at the time. But when that when that left and I came back to Virginia, I remember just feeling a lot of, again, I attribute it to ego. I attribute to these spirits. That's because that's what alcohol is. It's called a spirit for a reason, because it gets to your spirit. It's not even you at the time. That's a whole nother story. I'll get in a whole nother video if you're tracking. We used to say a lot of things to each other. We used to express a lot. And I remember at that time, things got really, really bad. The voicemails he was leaving me, and I got in a mode of like, man, screw this. I don't need this. I'm going to not talk to him. And it was about my ego, pride, whatever you want to call it. And that drifted for about 4 or 5 years. It wasn't until COVID 2020 in August, I remember me picking up the phone and us starting to rekindle our relationship, because I was getting married the following year. My grandpa out there, rest in peace, Master Chief, he passed away, and my wife told me to give him a call. He picked up immediately, and we were able to hash out our relationship and start fresh. And I wasn't sober at that time. Again, I got sober April 17th of 2022. However, I wasn't drinking as heavy as I was. And now being completely sober, I'm just, again, that love, that empathy that I have, that always being sharp with my mind, that I don't have to have an excuse towards anything. It's just full embodiment. I'm fully immersed into knowledge and wisdom, especially in the Bible, just trying to live righteously and do better. And it's trickling into all my relationships, including the one with my father. We're actually going on a vacation together in the next few months. So look at that. And it's a wonderful thing. We talk often, and we're fixing our relationship. It's a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress. The relationships, I remember drunk calling. Like I don't do that no more. Yay. I know my friends are probably thankful of that too. I remember just calling random people at random times. Oh, I love you, man. Or that was probably at a time where I was being promiscuous before I was married, and still thinking I was a player, because that alcohol is the devil. That ego, I was boosted. I was feeling myself, thinking I don't know who I was thinking of. I think it was like Pimp Daddy, Hottie Dottie. But I remember just being obnoxious. And I look back, I was really wasting people's time. Like, nobody wants to get a call at 12, 1 a.m. Oh, I was thinking of you, or was good, and this and that. Like, it's not the time for that. I wasn't respectful of people's schedules or the work schedules that they're doing midweek. Like, I'm just reflecting about all this right now. And like the fact of being sober and remaining sober, I don't deal with none of that. Well, also because I'm married. But also, speaking of marriage, like I won't ever fall victim to blaming something on alcohol. Like 100% accountability on your boy. And I think that's one of the things with alcohol. Like, we use this as an scapegoat. I know I did at the time. I'm speaking for me personally. We use it as an excuse. Like, oh, I'm going to just blame it on alcohol. Oh, Jamie did this. Oh, I'm going to just blame it on alcohol. I did what? Blame it on alcohol. Oh, these thoughts. Yeah, these thoughts of depression or suicidal thoughts. Yeah, I'm going to just blame it on alcohol. Oh, yeah, these thoughts of anger and, you know, my mental health or anger, like blame it on alcohol. See, when you take that out, you're forced to deal with it by yourself. And sometimes it could be a tough pill to swallow. In this case, it could be a hard shot to swallow. And I'm just so grateful that I was able to piece together some of the most important relationships in my life now, looking back, and they continue to be enhanced, and just have a peace of mind that alcohol won't be a reason why I'll lose those people who are important to me now in my life. And I don't want my kids to look at me like I was an alcoholic or someone who misspoken to them or wasn't the best I could be because of something like alcohol. And I'm just happy that they get a better version of me as I continue to grow with God and I continue to embark on this journey of remaining sober. It's a tough road, but each and every day, and the more I reflect, especially with making these videos for you guys, which I see you guys are loving, that's why I'm keeping making it. So if you are liking it, smash the like button, leave a comment below so I can create making content like this for you guys. Looking at my life now, business owner. I'm about to be 5 years in business, running a video production company. I'm just thankful I got all this out my system before that, because there's a lot of important people in my phone. I'm in constant kind of communication with a lot of leaders, business owners, CEOs, people I admire, aspire, and I would hate to just blow it because of a drunk text or a call. If they call me and I'm inebriated and just blow certain things, because that's never the move. I'm representing way more than myself when I'm putting myself on this camera, when I'm out in my community where I'm speaking. I'm representing way more than just myself, and that's why God says too much is given, much is required, because there's a lot of requirements, especially looking at my life right now at this time. And I don't have time to catch a DUI. I don't have time to make a horrible mistake because alcohol put me into lust and then I lost everything. Like I've got many hints before from it, and I was like, I'm gonna be the change. I'm gonna change this right now, so that won't happen. I see it happen all the time. I hear it in movies and things. I know I'm safe. You catch me, if you pull anytime someone pulls me over, I'm the sober one. Most you'll catch me is drinking some cream soda. But those are some of my experiences and some of my stories of how being sober has improved important relationships in my life. And again, I want to remind you, wherever you are at on this journey, continue to push forward. It's going to get tough, but you have it in you to continue to ignite. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months. Just keep embracing it so you could be the better version and the best version of yourself. And if you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button. If you want to see more videos and content like this on this channel, subscribe so you never miss a video. Stay blessed by the best. Ignite the world. Peace.